Hi, welcome everyone. I am Marye Dean Esquire here at the wallstreetlawyer.com. And today we're going to talk about how you can save money on your taxes. So get in here, make sure you hit the share and subscribe button. As we know, tax season is upon us. It is time to pay Uncle Sam. And you know he don't play. You know he want his money. So make sure you get in here and hit the share and subscribe button. Drop your B1 in the chat. Let me know you're here. We're live streaming today at blackwallstreet.com because Black wealth is critical to Black power. We are also streaming on Fly Nubian Queen, where Black women have a voice, and I am one of those proud Black women. So shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins, and drop your B1 in the chat and let me know that you're here and you're here with me. I'm going to get in here and break it down for you, give you some reasons, some tools and tips that will help you save money on your taxes, because we all know that we want to keep more money in our pocket. And quite honestly, Uncle Sam is one of the most expensive bills that you will have. We got hello, how are you doing, D Blup 23? Welcome. Drop your B1. Let me know you're in here. We got Renee in the house. Renee Solaire Blackwell. Thank you for joining me. Come on in here, hit the share and subscribe button. We're going to talk about how you can save money on your taxes and live what I like to call the corporate lifestyle. Let me make sure we are live streaming on Instagram. Hi, everybody, with the Wall Street Lawyer and blackwallstreet.com, because Black wealth is critical to Black power. Make sure we're going live there. Get in here today. We're going to talk about how to save money on your taxes, how tax strategy can save you the big bucks. And you know, when you don't pay your taxes right, when you're not up to par on your tax planning, you could end up in the pokey. And we don't want that, right? I want you beautiful Black people out in the world, you know, making a change, making a difference, being change agents, living your best life with the most money that you have possible, and with the most impact that you can make in your world. So let's just hop right into this. Saving money on taxes often involves a combination of strategic planning, right, that you want to do with your tax accountant, your bookkeeper, and your attorney to make sure that you are hitting all marks, strategic planning, and taking advantage of available tax deductions. So, how many of you have your own business? If you have your own business and you're out there forging your own destiny and making your own money tree, then let me know in the chat. We got Louisa. Oh, she loves my voice. Thank you. Hello from Toronto. Well, we love you too down here in the States. And you're not, you know, we have our own tax laws. I'm not sure how things work up in Toronto. I hear you're much better, but here we have to make sure we have our ducks in a row, that our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted, so that we can make sure that we can keep as much money as we can, but pay Uncle Sam what we are supposed to. And you can do that by taking advantage of the tax laws. So one of the things that you need to make sure that you're doing is to contribute to a retirement account. Contributions to retirement accounts like 401ks or IRAs can lower your taxable income. Right? So one thing we have to understand about our tax deductions, you have all of these expenses that are necessary and ordinary if you're running a business. This is why the number one reason why we say you should start a business, even if you have a full-time job. One of the main reasons to start a business is so that you can save money on your taxes, because this is America, and America is built on this American dream. And the idea of the American dream is that you come over here and you get your big house, your white picket fence, 2.2 children, I guess, but you're able to lift yourself up by the bootstraps. And so America rewards the entrepreneur. America rewards businesses. And the idea is that those rewards that they do to businesses is supposed to trickle down into the economy of the employee the people that work for the companies, and promote more jobs and have more people working so that we all can have our little slice of the American pie. So there are deductions that if you have that business that you can take from your income, right? And they come off the top before your income is even factored. You get, so now you're talking about, that's the difference between gross income and net income. And so these deductions are deducted before you even calculate what your income is. And so that by reducing your income, you are reducing the amount of money that you have to pay in taxes. And so one things you want to do is make sure that you're putting money away for not a rainy day, because we don't put money away for rainy days over here because we don't want no rainy days. And I guarantee you that if you prepare for a rainy day, darling, it's going to rain. And that's not what we want. What we want you to do is put money away for things that you want to do in life. That's utilizing the secret, the power of thought, and the understanding that you do create your own reality. So you want to make sure that you're contributing money to a retirement account. That is putting money away, not for a rainy day, but for a later day, a day when you know that you are not going to want to get after it anymore, when you know that you want to sit down somewhere and maybe have some grandkids running around, or be an elder in your community and nurture other youth in your community, in your world. So you want to make sure that you're putting money into an IRA account. And let me tell you, if you have your ducks in a row set up the way that you should in your business, this money could come out just like it does when you have a job. You get your check, you make your money in your business, you're putting yourself on payroll, and this is money that you don't even see. You cut that check, that money goes straight into your IRA. Right. And you should be withholding money for your taxes, just like it is when you have a job. And if you don't know how to set this up, then make sure you schedule a consultation with me, because I need to make sure that you are got your ducks in a row, that your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. So you contributing money to your retirement accounts like your 401k, accounts like your IRAs, which will lower your taxable income. Additionally, if you have a job, some of those employers offer matchmaking contributions to your 401k, which can further increase your retirement savings. So that's something I know. If you have a job, most people who are if you're job dependent and you have a job, you opt into these things when you have a job. But when you don't have a job and you have to create that job for yourself, make sure you have yourself set up on payroll and you're taking that money out of your paycheck so that you are building a money tree for yourself later in life. Another thing that you can do to reduce your taxable income. Let me see who's here today. Okay, and before I get into another thing you can do to reduce your taxable income, we got the golden lady. Hey there, I hate the IRS. I ain't even got no uncle named Sam. Darling, we all got an uncle named Sam, okay? And he is that toxic uncle that's dipping into your paycheck, and no matter what. So we got to take care of Uncle Sam. Thank you. Peace and blessings to you, Mary, with an E, sitting up there looking like sunshine. Thank you. That's actually what Dr. Allen used, Dr. State Representative Dr. Alma A. Allen. That was her name for me. Mary with the E. Hi, Mary with the E. Mary E. Mary with the E. I always say the E is decoration. Don't let that E confuse you. So back into this. So another thing you want to do to reduce your tax bill is to make sure that you itemize your tax deductions. If you have significant deductible expenses such as mortgage interest, property taxes, charitable donations, or medical expenses, it may be beneficial to itemize deductions rather than taking the standard deduction. I'm going to tell you that I always itemize my deductions. You always want to itemize your deductions. I'm giving all my receipts to my bookkeeper. But that's the old me. It's 2024. You don't have to walk in anywhere with your bookkeeper with any receipts because of technology, right? You have if you have your business set up right, you're making all of your business expenses, all of your business purchases through your business account using your business debit card, which is automatically tracking the expenses of your business. And it comes back to say, it's a safeguard, in my opinion, because if Uncle Sam tries to say, hey, you're hiding money or this or that, the third, this is the only business account that I have for this business. And as you can see the money coming in and what money is going out, I don't know what better way to substantiate what it is that I'm doing in my business, like having my business debit card and making those expenses with my business debit card, which is being tracked by the bank itself. So take those tax deductions. If you're not sure, if you don't, if you can't afford to work with an actual bookkeeper every month, that is why you want to use QuickBooks, right? You can work with a bookkeeper in initially setting up your business, have that bookkeeper create your chart of accounts for your ordinary and necessary business expenses. And once they have that set up, then QuickBooks will do this thing where it will categorize your expenses automatically, and you just have to go in and reconcile that, right, to make sure that the software is categorizing things correctly. You want to reconcile your books, and if you don't want to do it, if you can afford to hire a bookkeeper, I strongly urge you to have a bookkeeper do that for you. Recognize those books, and again, you should be looking at certain numbers on a daily, weekly. I added the daily once I got a good sales system. A daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis. And if you're not sure what numbers you should be looking at on a daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis, make sure you schedule a consultation with me. I do have the link in the chat. So you want to take those itemized deductions. And again, what deductions can you legally take in your business? Well, that is going to depend on what kind of business that you have. If you have a trucking company, then the gas, the gas, your mileage, maybe hotel stays when you're on the road. It really depends on what are the ordinary and necessary expenses for you to run your particular business in your particular industry. So it's going to be personal to you, but we can go over a few common deductions that you're going to see. So some startup costs may be tax deductible, including advertisements for a grand opening, costs of training employees and paying instructors for training, fees for conducting studies to explore market conditions, money paid to consultants, attorneys, accountants, travel expenses related to establishing relationships with initial suppliers and distributors, insurance, business auto insurance, business continuation insurance, business owner's health insurance, business property insurance, liability insurance, life insurance used for succession planning, malpractice insurance, and workers' compensation insurance. These are all tax deductions that you can legally take, and they come off the top before you even factor in what your income is. So by reducing your income, you are therefore reducing the amount of money you have to pay in taxes. Utilities. You can normally deduct the cost of utilities paid at your place of business. Common utilities may include cable television, electricity, gas, heating and cooling. If it doesn't fall under electricity or gas, internet, landline telephone service, sewage, trash and recycling, and water. If you maintain a home office, there are some restrictions on deducting utilities. For example, you normally can't deduct the cost of your primary telephone landline, but second lines used exclusively for business will be deductible. Also, I know when you have a home office, there's a formula that your accountant will use to determine what amount of your rent or your mortgage will be able to be tax deductible based on your square footage. So make sure you walk in there with your accountant and make sure that they're all well informed. Inventory. Companies that manufacture or buy products to sell may be able to deduct the cost of inventory, the cost of goods. Okay. Normally, this involves valuing your inventory at the beginning and end of the year and calculating the cost of goods sold. Some things that contribute to the cost of goods sold will include things like your factory overhead, freight, labor costs, raw materials, and storage. Rent payments. If your business rents space, your rent payments may be tax deductible. This will include both your base rent and any common area maintenance, also known as CAM fees, that you may pay. Additional expenses paid to your landlord for property management, security, and other services may also be deductible. You may also be able to take small business tax deductions on any money that you pay to rent or lease office equipment, office furniture, tools, and machinery. In some cases, you can also claim depreciation on leased and rented equipment to further reduce your tax liability. So this is why you want to have, it's great. This is a lot of information. This is a lot of things that you have to be aware of. And again, your tax accountant and your bookkeeper, they are only as smart as you are. And so if you don't understand the language to go in there with, if you don't understand your business and the ordinary expenses of your business, then it would be good to make sure. This is why you want to work with an attorney, because that person is your attorney. The attorney that you choose to work with, your corporate counsel, will make sure that your necessary and ordinary expenses, things that you're doing day to day, will, based on your particular industry, will be calculated. So we don't want to leave any money on the table. I know back when I was working on Wall Street for the man, Sullivan and Cromwell, representing Fortune 500 companies like Goldman Sachs, we would work broker hours just like the brokers. And we had this saying that you don't want to leave money on the table. So when they opened up the hours and they were trying to hit a deadline and they said we could work dark 30 to dark 30, honey, we worked dark 30 to dark 30 because we didn't want to leave money on the table. And so you don't want to leave money on the table. You don't want to give Uncle Sam, what we had one lady say, that's not my uncle. You don't want to give Uncle Sam any more money than you want to. Oh, okay, we got Dennis Spraggins in the house. Shout out, much love. I appreciate your continued support, Mr. Spraggins. Hope that everything in your world is on the up and up, that your business is thriving. Guys, make sure you hit the share and subscribe button, because we are dropping some nuggets in here today, talking about how you can reduce your tax bill and do what I like to call is living the corporate lifestyle. Okay, we got Miss General Dollars. I love it. Leave no bag behind. That's what I'm talking about. No bag behind. So that's, and that if you want to make sure that you are maximizing your take home money, your net income, the money that you have to pay your necessary and living and expenses, the money that you will need and desire to take trips and do, build up your income so that you have money in your retirement. Make sure that you are take heed to taking these tax advantages. So we're going over some necessary and ordinary common expenses. So automobile expenses, you can normally deduct expenses related to the purchase and upkeep of company-owned vehicles from your taxes. If you use your personal car, mileage accrued for business expenses may also be tax deductible. However, you'll need to keep a very detailed record of where your trip started, destinations, mile traveled, purpose of travel. If you handle personal and business matters during one trip, you can usually only count the mileage related to your stated business purpose. For example, if you drive an hour to attend a business meeting with the client and then go to the grocery store on the way home, you would need to subtract the additional mileage to reach the grocery store. So they look at these things. So you want to make sure you have all of your paperwork in ducks in a row. We call that making sure your business is papered correctly. And so we're getting in here how you can maximize the living the corporate lifestyle. I'm Marye Dean Esquire here at the wallstreetlawyer.com, coming to you live on blackwallstreet.com, because Black wealth is critical to Black power. We're also live streaming on Fly Nubian Queen, where Black women have a voice. Again, I am one of those proud Black women. and glad to be here. So shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins, and make sure you drop your B1 in the chat, because we believe in taking care of our home first, because love begins at home. And so if you're Black, it's not that we don't do business with other people. It's not that we don't care about other people, but it's just that love begins at home. I cannot sweep around your front door until I sweep around mine. That is the philosophy behind B1. We are just taking care of home before we take care of everybody else. Office supplies and furniture. The total amount that you spend on purchasing office supplies and furniture during your year is usually tax deductible. Just make sure you save your receipts and track how much you spend on things like calendars and planners, chairs, desk and table, file folders, file cabinets, ink and toner, light bulbs, notebooks, packing supplies and boxes, paper and binder clips, pens and pencils, staples and staplers and tape, etc., etc., etc. Again, anything that you use for the furtherance of your company is most likely tax deductible. Software. Any software that you purchase for your company may be tax deductible. You may also be able to deduct the cost of monthly and annual subscriptions for software and online applications. So this is Uncle Sam. You say, I don't have an uncle, but these tax deductions, ladies and gentlemen, is how Uncle Sam said, I will put money in your pocket. I will help you build that company. I know you got to pay me, because you got to pay your fare, because I'm going to take my cut. But I want to see you win. I want to see your business thrive, because the more money that your business makes, the more money you got to pay me, Uncle Sam. So because I want to help, I really do. I'm going to allow you to take all of these deductions off the top before we even say that this is income that you got to pay me on. So business meals. Some of the costs of business meals purchased from restaurants may also be tax deductible. And for tracking, you didn't say save your receipts, but that is so old and dated. You want to make sure you are making these purchases with your business debit card from your business bank account that is tracking these purchases for you automatically by you using your business debit card. Okay, travel expenses, things like airfare, automobile expenses, bus, rail, and subway fares, dry cleaning, hotels, meals, parking and valet services, rental car fees, tax or ride sharing, tips and tolls. Interest and bank fees. You can even deduct that. Normally, any interest paid on business loans and business credit cards can qualify for deductions for business expenses. You may also be able to deduct the cost of fees assessed by your financial institutions. Fees for online payment processors like PayPal may also be deductible. These are tax deductible. These is money that you're paying for your business that comes off the top before income is even factored in for tax purposes. Professional services and contractors. If you hire independent workers, if you're paying people to record video for your company, if you're paying people to draft your logo, if you're paying your CPA, who you should be working with to make sure you're maximizing these tax deductions, if you're paying me as your attorney, all of these will qualify for small business tax deductions. Salaries. Are you running a business where you have people on payroll? Salaries paid to employees who are not partners in the business or the LLC members are usually tax deductible. Now, mind you, you can wear two hats. You can be a partner in your company and still be an employee in that company, and that the money that's paid to you as an employee is a tax deductible expense, right? You may also be able to add the cost of providing health insurance and other benefits to your employees, such as paid time off. These are tax deductible expenses. Education. You got to be smart to be in business. You have to be educated to run your business. You got to make sure you are up to date on the most recent legislation that comes out, on the most anything that is going to affect how you operate your business. You got to stay up to date to that, and there's money associated with that. The money that you pay to keep yourself educated. As a matter of fact, me as a licensed attorney, I have to take so many hours in the state of New York to maintain my license, so many hours in the state of Texas to maintain my hours. And so any money that I spend, even when it's traveling, even when I got to purchase a plane ticket to get there, any money that I spend for the education of myself to maintain my license is a tax deductible expense. So things like books on general business topics and subjects related to specifically your field, continuing education courses required to maintain your license or certification, for credit and non-credit courses and classes, seminars, trade publication journals, and webinars. I host a couple of webinars. I host a course that I created to help educate Black entrepreneurs. If you take that course, if you take a webinar to further your business, make sure you pay for that with your business debit card and can count that as a deductible expense. Things that you would spend for advertising and marketing, things like billboards and posters, business cards, direct mail, email, mass messaging services, event sponsorship and attendance fees, influencer marketing that you pay, marketing research, newspaper and magazine ads, paying an advertising or marketing firm, printing costs for flyers, signs, and other materials, promotional materials like branded clothing, office supplies, or drinkware, radio ads, search engine ads, social media ads, television ads, website domain registration, and the renewal fees. All of that is tax deductible expenses that can be easily tracked if you are making these purchases using your debit card on your corporate account. Again, I am Marye Dean, Esquire at thewallstreetlawyer.com, coming to you live on blackwallstreet.com, where Black wealth is critical to Black power. Coming to you live as on Fly Nubian Queen, where Black women have a voice, and I am one of those proud Black women. Shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins. Going to you live on my Instagram account, The Wall Street Lawyer, and blackwallstreet.com. Thank you guys for all tuning in here. We're going over some common tax deductibles, tax deductions, and how you can save money on your taxes, and why you should be working with not just a CPA, a bookkeeper, and an attorney. The tax expenses that we just talked about, they outline potential areas for tax savings. However, your business may not qualify for all of them. You need to make sure you're working with a good CPA and a good attorney so that you know how to maximize what your business doing and living the corporate lifestyle, something that I talk about in my book. What is, I keep saying living the corporate lifestyle, living the corporate lifestyle. What does that mean? That means that you have a business that is really taking care of you, that you are able to take all of those deductions that I talked about. Your company can be paying for that. Your company should be paying for your gas, paying for your dry cleaning. Because if you're a businesswoman like me, the clothes that I send to the cleaners are my suits, are my professional clothes. And so all of those items are tax deductible. Okay. Oh, I appreciate the love. Please like and share and subscribe. This is great information. I appreciate the feedback because I want to see you win. At this point, it is 2024. It is the rise of the sacred feminine and the rise of Black power. I don't believe for 1 minute that we have to be victim and that we don't have the resources that we need. You know, they say we have 1.2 trillion dollars spending power in the Black community. How do we make sure that that money is circulating within our own community? How do we make sure that that money is circulating within your own home, within your own community, within your own sphere where it's impacting you? And one of the ways to make sure that you're able to do that is by making sure you're maximizing your tax deductions, by making sure that you start a business, because that's what your business is for. It is one way that you're able to save money on your taxes and keep more money in your bank account, because what they said, at Mr. General Dollars, we will not leave any bag behind. I'm Marye Dean Esquire here at thewallstreetlawyer.com, and I've enjoyed my time with you here today, and you will see me again on Friday. Have a wonderful, profitable day. Bye now. Bye now. Oh, wait. Before I go. Let me see. I'm going to shout out to Mr. General Dollars. Shout out to Dennis Spraggins. Shout out to the Golden Lady. Shout out to Louisa from Toronto. Thank you guys for joining me. I just want to make sure I honor the people that are here and give credit where credit is due, because I do this for you. And so I'm just grateful that you guys are showing up and that you are appreciative of the content that we are putting out. And, don't just appreciate the content. Don't just love me from afar, but make sure we get on one accord and we're doing this together. We are in this together. I am here with you. You do not have to start your business alone. You do not have to build your business alone. You do not have to do this by yourself. That is why I am here. That is why I created blackwallstreet.com, because Black wealth is critical to Black power. And I love my beautiful Black people. Marye Dean Esquire here at thewallstreetlawyer.com, and I am signing off. Bye-bye.